Hello ladies, if you're looking to buy your first home, you're at the right place. We hope this information leads you in the right direction. Single moms, grants, loans, and assistive programs for buying a home. It's tough to buy a house as a single mother. When you're busy raising children and meeting other financial commitments, putting a down payment on a new home may seem out of reach. For those going through a divorce, the procedure may be even more challenging since you may be worried about not only purchasing a new property, but also selling an old one. Supporting a family on a single income may make qualifying for a mortgage difficult, making the process tough to begin. Single mothers with a low income or a poor credit history, on the other hand, may benefit from a range of assistance programs. As a single mother, purchasing a house may be tough, but not impossible. Continue watching this video to see whether buying a house is the best option for you and your family, as well as information on how to get started. Let's get this party started. Ladies, housing barriers and challenges for single mothers. One of the most challenging elements of being a single mom homeowner is finding, maintaining, and affording secure homes. As previously noted, single mothers with little financial resources have a lot on their worries. Including the protection of their children, you may be anxious as a single mother about finding a house in a safe community near to your children's school. You may be afraid that the expense of owning a house will make it more difficult to fulfill other financial responsibilities, such as loan repayments or monthly food purchases. You could be afraid that you won't be able to get a loan. However, financial issues aren't the only reason that puts people at risk of being homeless. A cause of anxiety might be social, economic, or emotional concerns. Single mothers who have been mistreated and forced to escape their families are more likely to fear homelessness or living in shelters, as well as other stresses such as food shortages. Each of these problems may be resolved by using the resources indicated below: financial burdens or the financial difficulties that single mothers may face. Rent expenses are growing in the United States, making being a renter more challenging. With rising rent rates, buying a house may become a more appealing option. On the other hand, homeownership is simple and saving for a down payment might be challenging enough. Discrimination. Minority groups such as women, low-income persons, and even young adults face significant housing discrimination. You may suffer prejudice whether renting or applying for a home loan. Inadequate access to inexpensive childcare. Obtaining cheap childcare might be challenging if your housing bills consume a substantial percentage of your income. Experiencing financial troubles resulting from leaving an abusive relationship. When you leave an abusive relationship, you may find yourself with nothing except the clothes on your back. You and your children may have left behind possessions, valuables, and personal stuff. Finally, the expense of a divorce may be a substantial financial hardship in and of itself. To blame are lawyers' filing costs, court fees, and other out-of-pocket expenditures, benefits, and considerations of homeownership for single mothers. Homeownership may help single parents in several ways, both financially and socially. For single parents, owning a home may provide a sense of security. You will be able to pick where you live, the neighborhood you live in, and which school your children will attend. For example, of course, there are disadvantages to becoming a homeowner. It might be difficult to move with a mortgage, and selling your house may take longer than you'd want. You're also in charge of upkeep and repairs. If the roof or air conditioner breaks down, you will have to fix it. High upfront costs and the risk of a cyber attack are two other potential drawbacks. With illiquidity and shifting property prices, some people may choose to rent instead, because of these disadvantages. Consider the following advantages of owning a home while deciding between renting and buying. Having a house contributes to the development of equity. Owning a house should be seen as a long-term investment since it is a purchase that generates equity. If you sign a lease and then decide to sell the property after 2 or 3 years, you may not be able to earn any money. Maintaining and making regular investments in the property may allow you to sell it for a much higher price than you paid when first purchasing it. Regular home upgrades include installing a new kitchen, updating the roof, and adding a fresh coat of paint. Each of these expenses adds to the value of your house, raising its price and making it more desirable to prospective buyers. The return on investment may be profitable if you find a property in an up-and-coming community and commit a lot of work and time to upgrade it. Homeownership tax benefits and deductions. The tax law benefits homeowners in the United States in various ways, including federal tax discounts. If you itemize deductions on your tax return, You may deduct your mortgage interest, property taxes, and other expenses up to a specified limit. However, all of your itemized deductions must exceed the IRS standard deduction to make it worthwhile to put in the effort to get the tax advantage. The IRS standard deduction varies every tax season. Go to IRS.gov to find out how much your standard deduction is, as well as the IRS's standard deduction for the year you're filing. Family stability is a benefit of homeownership. There are various benefits to having a property closely associated with your family. You will have the choice of deciding where you and your children will live or attend school in terms of security and stability. Finding a house in a walking position near kid-friendly attractions like parks and playgrounds may be one of your top priorities. If you've decided to buy a house, the next step is to figure out what you're looking for. Keep the following questions in mind as you make your decision. What size home do you want to build? Consider the size of your family while deciding on the size of your house. The amount of privacy and storage space provided by the number of bedrooms and bathrooms. Do you like your surroundings? When you buy a house, you agree to become a member of the neighborhood. For the great majority of people, where they live is everything. Make certain you live in a location that you appreciate and one that your children enjoy. Is the property a good investment? Almost every home will need some kind of compromise. The kitchen is likely outdated, or the flooring needs replacement. Consider if you can fix such problems in the long run while enhancing the value of your house. If the older residences you're looking at need too much upkeep, it could be worth it to invest in a freshly built home. Is it a suitable match for your long-term goals? Examine if the property and its location are suitable for your long-term needs. Checking to see whether there are adequate job opportunities nearby. If the area has decent schools, or a nice spot to raise a family is all examples of this. How many houses can you afford? Finding the right property requires a sensible budget. The 2,836 ratio may be used to estimate a home's affordability. According to the rule, you shouldn't spend more than 28% of your monthly gross income on housing and 36% on debt-related charges like mortgages, credit cards, auto loans, or school loans. In order to find out your monthly mortgage payment, use a mortgage calculator taking into account other home ownership costs. One of the most significant aspects of owning a property is that there will be continuing costs, some anticipated and others unforeseen. All of these expenses must be accounted for in your budget. If you can barely manage your monthly mortgage payment, you may have difficulties paying these additional expenses in the future. Home/yard maintenance, repairs, HOA fees, property taxes are all examples of ongoing costs. Financial aid for purchasing a home. Home buyers may apply for various grants and other sorts of financial aid, being a first-time homeowner, a single mother, or having a low income. Among other things are all qualifying reasons for financial aid. Home loans from Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. First-time homeowners may benefit from Fannie Mae's Home Path Ready Buy program. It allows purchasers to get a refund of 3% of the purchase price as part of the closing costs, grants and programs of the federal government. Federal Housing Administration loans, insurance-backed mortgages issued solely by FHA-certified lenders are among the federal government's programs and subsidies for single parents purchasing a home. These may be found all around the United States and its territories. The FHA is one of the world's leading mortgage underwriters, has assisted millions of families in becoming homes. USDA loans for home buyers in rural areas. The USDA offers loans to single-family and multifamily homeowners. Eligibility for these loans and grants is determined by income, which varies depending on the typical median income in the region where the purchase is being made. Low-income people, retirees, handicapped, or workers, domestic farm workers will benefit from the multifamily housing programs at the local and state levels. Single parents may take advantage of local and state initiatives to help them acquire a home. The Department of Housing and Urban Development (HUD) is responsible for meeting America's housing requirements through upgrading neighborhoods and enforcing fair housing laws. HUD to Homeownership Voucher Program assists persons aided by the Housing Choice Voucher Homeownership Program in purchasing houses. And to meeting other housing costs, applicants must fulfill specific income and employment requirements in order to qualify. In addition, you must be purchasing your first property. The state dictates the web page to find out who handles HCV programs near you. Public Housing Agency. Contact your local public housing authorities for help. We'll see whether you are qualified single mothers financing options. Mortgage credit certificates for buying a house are designed for low-income clients seeking affordable housing. It aids purchases by enabling them to receive a tax credit equivalent to the cost of their purchase. This is deducted from a portion of your yearly mortgage interest payments up to $2,000 each year. Single and two-person families have the same maximum income limit in MCCS, making it simpler for a single person to qualify. Individual development accounts IDs are a kind of savings account that helps low-income families save for a down payment on a house post-secondary education or the startup of a small company. Habitat for Humanity may be a good alternative for single parents to buy a house. Habitat for Humanity accepts applications from anyone who meet the criteria. Potential homeowners must establish a need for safe and affordable homes to be considered. The Community Development Block Grant Program provides yearly subsidies to qualified parties to afford quality housing and live in a favorable environment. These are aimed towards persons with low to moderate income. Direct Loan Program under Section 502. The Section 502 Direct Loan Program, commonly known as Single-Family Housing Direct Home Loans, is designed to help persons with low or extremely low incomes. It provides people with good, safe and hygienic homes in qualifying rural regions. Applicants must fulfill additional conditions and be below the appropriate low-income threshold for the designated location. There is a nonprofit organization called the National Homebuyers Fund (NHF) that provides a wide range of homeownership services. The National Housing Foundation (NHF) offers up to 5% of the loan amount in closing costs or down payment assistance. Other DPA initiatives are available via the Federal Housing Administration, FHA. We hope this information is useful to you ladies. Please subscribe and join our blog. The link is below. Toodles ladies.